I think it was one of the games, maybe the only game, where I felt the other team was better than us during that game. That's not to say that for the long term they are better than us, but during the game they had more ball possession than us. They were threatening us more than any other team did till now. So yeah, that was my opinion about Chelsea back then, and that's still my opinion. But I'm not there to judge what position they will end in the league table. I have to focus on my own team. But Chelsea has been impressive this season so far, that's for sure.
In an ideal world, we would have outplayed them completely. That's definitely not what we did. It was an equal game, in my opinion, where the phases in a game where we had to work really hard not to concede. Yeah, I think what we all made of this today. He had a very good game. He had a difficult job to control Cole Palmer, which is an incredible player in my opinion. It's so difficult to defend him because he has so many qualities. And Curtis did that really well today. He just, in my opinion, he controlled him for most parts of the game. It's almost impossible to control a player like this for 90 minutes, but he was quite close to that. And then to even have impact on the other side with a goal and two penalties that where he was involved in. One of them was in the end disallowed by the VAR, the second big game we played. But I also saw how difficult it was, how difficult Chelsea made for us. So in my opinion, if I would be sitting as a Chelsea manager, I would say, if we can play like this at Anfield, we are also one of the teams that can compete for top 4 position.
It's nice that we play some very strong teams with Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton and Palace. So that gives immediately the challenge to those games. It's the end of the season, but we also have to look at this as the start of next season already. So, but yeah, it's Chelsea away first. We played them earlier on in the season. And I'm completely surprised, not shocked, but surprised if I look at the gap we have with them at the moment, because at that moment of time, they were the better team on the pitch. But we found a way to win, and that is a quality that we didn't need a lot, because mostly we were the better team on the pitch. But in that game, yeah, we had to suffer more than any other game maybe. So to be so many points ahead of them is a big compliment for everyone here at this club.
Hi again. Just in terms of Chelsea, obviously they played last night in Europe. Did you watch that game? What did you take from it?
Parts of it. I saw them taking a lot of players off at half time. So talking about quality, semi-final in Europe, taking so many players off and just bring a bunch of new players in with the same quality. So, but that's the Premier League. We all have that. All teams have so much quality. We can all do this. That's also the nice. That's why this league is so popular. So very good team. They mostly showed this for me against us. To play so good in our stadium tells you how much quality they have.
Hi Arne, you mentioned that Chelsea were the best team in the first game, and they had some real joy tactically, probably giving you more tactical problems than anyone else this season. Do you enjoy these kind of tactical battles, and do you expect a similar examination on Sunday?
Yes, because Chelsea plays the same style as they played at Anfield, and they've played the same style always. Is always 3-2, 4-1, or the way you want to call it. They always bring one of their defenders into the midfield, and they did this in our game as well. That wasn't a surprise because we've seen them playing. I think it was somewhere around the 11th game, or when did we play them? Yeah. So we knew that they did this, but we didn't defend that well enough, or they were just outstanding. That's also a possibility. I do feel that was one of their better games during the season. But yeah, apart from tactics, they have so many good players in their squad that that is the biggest thing you have to fight against, not the tactics. It's always the players you have to play against.
Arne, what was your take on the game?
Nothing good comes from losing a game of football. But if I have to take the positives, there were definitely a few positives. So dominating ball possession at Stamford Bridge is not what many teams do over here, because Chelsea is so comfortable with the ball as well. Being 2-0 down, don't give up. Try to fight yourself back into the game. That's what we did. We got already 2 big chances which we didn't score. Then Chelsea was on a counter-attack a few times, very threatening. And then when we scored the 2-1, you were like, let's see if there's something in it. But I don't think there was a moment where we were close to scoring a goal, and in the end a correct penalty being given and Chelsea won it 3-1. So maybe the opposite from the home game where they dominated possession and we won. Now it was the opposite. We'll never know. But I think what we also saw today, a lot of things what we've seen throughout the whole season, us playing through the high press of the opponent so many times, so many moments that we arrived in the final third. But I also saw us defending today, not that I'm used to that always, so the last percentages over there were not of our normal standards. And in the final third, we are, if we come there so many times, normally we are able to create more chances. So that could mean 2 things. Either Chelsea did well in both boxes, which they did, but I think it tells us also a little bit about us. So in general, good performance, but the final percentages weren't there to win this game of football. The lead up to both goals, a player of us slipped. So yeah, would that have happened as well if the game was on the line? Yes or no? We will never know. But the margins are small in the Premier League, especially if you play a team like Chelsea with so many quality players. Then you cannot afford these kind of moments.
Just asking, for Chelsea a threat for next season? Do you think if they...
I expected them to be a threat this season because they were at Anfield. They were better than us. They were so close to us. So it was a complete surprise to me that we are now 18 points clear of them, something like that. I didn't feel that at all coming when we played them. So that tells you how well we did probably if a team like this with so much quality, and also not only in the first 11 but in the complete squad, we are able to be 18 points ahead of them is a big compliment for our players.
Nah, I knew he was going to be here, but I didn't know he was going to be on the stand when we left the trophy, so I was a bit confused, yeah.
Considering the progress English teams have made in Europe, what does that say about the strength of the Premier League? Considering Manchester United are 14th and Tottenham 16th, and they could be contesting the Europa League final.
Yeah, but I think the number 14 and 16 of the Premier League have so much more funds than the number 1 in Holland, for example. So it's not a complete surprise that teams, and we have many of them in the Premier League, have so many more funds than everywhere around the world, every other place around the world, except for Paris Saint-Germain, except for Barcelona, Real Madrid, and a few others. That is not a surprise that English teams go all the way into Europe, especially in the Conference League and in the Europa League, because they are in a different league when it comes to money compared to the other teams that play there. In the Champions League, it's more balanced, I think. So it's a big achievement from Arsenal that they are still in the semi-final. So yeah, it tells you how much money there is in this league and how strong this league is. But we all knew this. That we didn't need this season to know that the Premier League is probably by far the best league and the most competitive league in the world. There are not many leagues where the number 15, 16, 17 now, because of a coincidence, it's then United and Tottenham. They normally are not there, but even the teams that are normally there have players that can play for the number 1 and the number 2 and the number 3 as well. And you don't see this in any other league, I think.